So 7 went to the post. The distance 7.5 furlongs. It was for 3-year-olds and up, and it was for a purse of $17,000. There were a couple of horses in the race that I think the betting public jumped on immediately and recognized for what they were. Door-Cheat Bid is the first of the bunch. It would eventually go off at 9-5. Door-Cheat Bid had won 3 of its last 4 races, including the Secretariat Handicap. Had finished 3rd, just a couple of lengths back to Star Campaigner in the John Henry Handicap, which was one of our stakes races here run a few weeks ago. And I think a lot of people thought Door-Cheat Bid was certainly the class of the race. But there were some other horses in that field that could, you know, sort of throw sand in the gears, so to speak. One of them was Vast Joy. It was coming from the outside. Vast Joy hasn't won in, oh, gee, it's been a while, but it's come so very close. It's come close twice this year. They tried it in a 6-furlong sprint, and it pushed vividly. Certainly one of the best, if not the best sprinter we've got at this track, to the wire, just losing by a neck. And then they brought it back in the John Henry, and I don't think that many people thought that coming off the 6-furlong race that ran against Vividly, it would throw much of a race in the John Henry, but it did. It finished 2nd to Star Campaigner in the Classic. Well, so they've tried it again last Monday night against Door-Cheat Bid and a couple of others. The mystery horse in this group was Centigrade. And this is a gelding that had won 6 of its last 7 races. Now, it sounds great, but you have to go back and look at the competition that it was running against. At Delta Downs and once here at Evangela Downs, starter allowance competition is certainly not the same thing as open allowance company or the type race that we had last Monday, the Memorial Day Handicap. So while Centigrade had run off a nice streak, it was still sort of iffy. Now, in its last outing, it did win an allowance competition and beat a couple of these same horses, for example, Jazzlong, that were in the Memorial Day Handicap. But this time around, it was running against something like Door-Cheat Bid and against Vast Joy. And I think there was still a lot of question in the minds of people whether Centigrade was indeed good enough, had the class enough to run against this type of competition and win. Well, they sent it out from the 7-hole, and as you watch the race unfold, they sent it out in a hurry. And I don't think there are any more questions now about Centigrade.
The flag is up. Ils sont partis. A good break, and now the battle for the early lead, and it's Centigrade from the outside and Hell of a Dream toward the rail. Here's Vast Joy moving out with the leaders also. They're your top 3. Then it's Door-Cheat Bid, Jazzlong along the rail, Prodigious One, and Horsefly as they swing into the clubhouse turn. It's Centigrade allowed to make the lead by 1.25 lengths. Vast Joy is right there. The pack is close. A gap of just 1.5 lengths back to Door-Cheat Bid in 3rd. Then it's Prodigious One running 4th. Horsefly and Hell of a Dream. As they swing down that back stretch and approach the far turn, it's still Centigrade in front. Vast Joy is close to within 1/2 length. 47-2, a quick pace for the half-mile. That's Door-Cheat Bid in 3rd. Hell of a Dream to the inside in 4th. And then Horsefly and Prodigious One has now begun to stop as they're midway through the turn. It's Centigrade leading it. Vast Joy is still 2nd. Door-Cheat Bid now has fallen 6 off the lead. Centigrade, the one on the streak, is the one to catch, leading it by 1.5 lengths. Vast Joy, here comes Jazzlong. Door-Cheat Bid has come back. A furlong to go. It's still Centigrade in front, stretching it out now to lead by 3. And they're not going to get it. That's 8 out of 9 for Centigrade. A 5-year-old gelding by Foolish Pleasure out of Spirit of Florida by Kurok. Owned by Mary Lou Delahousie, trained by Minas Delahousie, and ridden by Kevin Molosov. 2nd is number 8, Vast Joy, and 3rd, number 2, Jazzlong. 1:31 and 4, that's just 2/5 off the track record, the time of the race.
Successful handicappers in racing need information.